Okay, are we on?
We are on.
Okay, guys.
Welcome, everybody, to our podcast. Got the crew back for another week. It was a good week for some of us and a really bad week for others. If we look at that side of the table.
Pete's still celebrating.
I know. Pete's celebrating so hard he couldn't show up for the podcast.
The bridge closed early today. He couldn't come.
Annalisa closed the fridge.
He's drinking.
Annalisa closed the leash. He got caught on the leash.
He didn't tell her 24 hours before. She had to sign a waiver. It's like pending.
I think this is going to get cut off, right?
No, we're going to.
No, this one's great.
I didn't say anything.
It was your idea.
They're supposed to be your friends, those
They
guys.
have a picture on the bridge.
Oh, Peter?
Peter, yeah.
Get out.
Yeah, they stop him. When they see him,
You turn.
the state troopers, they stop and go back.
And the state trooper's his wife.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's good that you still have a sense of humor after this weekend's loss.
Okay, listen. I know you are miserable and misery loves company. Okay? How the hell are you picking up on me when you couldn't even win against the last team?
At least they got a point.
Yeah, a point. Give me a break. He got a slap on the face. He got a punch on the face. That's what he got. Getting scored by Cagliari after this Vlahovic. He made it such a big effort to,
So what are we talking about?
Vlahovic. Hey, it's a big superstar. Hey, Juventus.
Are we talking about AC Milan? Or?
No, we're talking about Juventus.
We always think about Milan.
Okay.
Getting tied by Nicola. My friend Nicola.
Why don't we start with Milan?
Milan, okay.
Let's start with Milan.
True.
Actually, we'll start with Fiorentina winning because we like to start with the team that wins the game. And Fiorentina, I mean, they have struggled so much this year to score goals. It was a crazy match overall because 3 penalty kicks.
That's the craziest match of the season, by far.
It always is, though. I feel like there's something about Fiorentina and Milan.
Fiorentina loves drama.
Yeah, there's something about them. Rocco Commisso is his last game that he was watching in the stadium for Fiorentina before he headed back home. And I didn't think Fiorentina would have a chance considering their recent form, considering the way that they were playing. They weren't conceding a lot of goals, but they weren't going forward. Moise Kean, who was pretty much everywhere, he was involved in everything in the night. Fiorentina found a way. They played it. They stayed a little bit back. They picked up their moments, but Milan made it very, very easy for them, considering the mistakes once again in the back. And you missed 2 penalty kicks, which play decisive in this game. Before we get to the penalty kicks, what did you think about the match?
I think AC Milan didn't play at the level that we were supposed to play. They lowered the level to Fiorentina's level. And actually, they let Fiorentina just taking over the game because I didn't see them angry for the game. They were not angry at all. They were just over there. It's like you playing a tennis match against somebody very much less skilled than you, and you have to lower your skill to make sure that this guy here doesn't feel bad. So that's what AC Milan did. They went over there on the pitch, and they didn't resemble at all the teams that beat Inter the week before. I said to myself, what the hell is going on? And you know what? To give Fiorentina a lot of credit, they were pushing. They were pushing at full speed, and I got so angry. The things that bothers me the most, it's Tomori, the way he plays defense, and that he complains all the time when he's being called a foul against him, right or wrong. Shut the hell up and play the goddamn game, number one. And the 2 penalty miss. We have a guy that is 10 for 10 on the penalty.
That's right.
And it's Pulisic. Why we have this Abraham? I understand Theo Hernandez. Okay. But Abraham does not belong to take a penalty once we have all of these great players that I played at AC Milan. And I read just recently, just before I came to the studio, that you remember how angry I got on the studio when we were watching the game. I said, what happened with Pulisic? Sure enough, Fonseca said that Pulisic was supposed to be taking the penalty.
Yeah.
And for some reasons, they talk something among themselves. And Abraham and what's his name? And Theo, they took the penalty.
That's absolutely
just
ridiculous.
right there, we lost the game. Because you do not guess when you have a penalty, you know who's going to be the penalty taker.
Wait a minute. Pulisic, Fonseca said that Pulisic was supposed to take.
Yeah.
Fonseca's quote was, I told the team that Pulisic is the penalty kick taker. I do not know why the boys changed it on the field.
And it won't happen again.
That will not happen again.
He said it won't happen again.
That's what
I read it right now, just before I came over.
But if Pulisic is the one that takes the penalty, Why didn't he go there and get the ball?
They
tried.
took it away
They took
from
it
him.
away from him.
There's a video
Yeah.
of Pulisic going to get the ball, and Tammy Abraham grabs it and turns away.
Yeah.
And I think Pulisic didn't want to create a fight on the field, which
Should've let him
I kind
have
of
it.
do understand. He gave him, and he got blocked out, and then Tammy put the.
I didn't see that.
Now,
Tammy
you know
put
what?
the
The
ball on
blame
the
is on
ground.
Fonseca. You're the freaking coach.
No,
You go
I
over
mean-
there and you say, you take the penalty.
What's going to go on the field?
Yeah, why not?
They should know.
You shout.
This shows a lack of leadership from Milan. How they want to celebrate, they want to take the goal for
Mike,
themselves.
I think-
they got to follow
The
the
coach
coach's
can
orders.
shout, they can say, Pulisic takes the penalty.
No, wait. If the coach said that Pulisic is the guy that takes the
Yeah.
penalty, and Pulisic went there to take the ball, to take the penalty, it's on Theo Hernandez, which a couple of weeks ago, he had a discipline problem. Okay, all of a sudden he is the leader.
Yeah.
The leader of what?
They give the captain a band and all that
He's
stuff.
no leader of anything. For me, Theo is not leader of anything the way he's been acting, and he's got a problem with discipline. I would have kicked him out so fast. I would, if I was Fonseca, I would have taken him out. Come out. You missed the penalty. Come out. I would have taken embarrassed him in front of everybody.
It was Theo's birthday also that game.
I think there's a twofold problem. I agree with Mike that there's a leadership problem in Milan because any senior players, any players who have characteristics of wanting to win for Milan should say, okay, I get that you want to take the penalty to Hernandez. I get that you want to take the penalty to Tammy Abraham, but the rule is Pulisic is going to take the penalty. And what makes it even worse is the second time it happens, that's where I go to Fonseca because I could almost understand Fonseca when Theo Hernandez steps up to the spot and they say, all right, maybe they decided this and that. Okay, the second one comes, if I'm Fonseca, I'm screaming at the top of my lungs and running on the pitch and saying, no, we're not doing this again. Pulisic is the penalty kick taker. He's the guy that's taking the
Michael,
second.
didn't he go to the locker room? Wait, Mike. After the AC Milan tied the game into the locker room, why he didn't make himself understood?
What do you mean?
You won. It was 1-1. AC Milan scored, right? He tied the game on a pen. He tied the game. It was 1-1?
Yes.
Okay.
1-1.
So when Pulisic scored, then you go into the locker room after missing the first penalty. Why can't you make yourself clear right there? I said, if we get another
Maybe they don't want to make a
penalty,
scene.
this is what I
Maybe
want
they
to
don't want to
do.
make a scene.
It doesn't
I've
matter.
seen him well on the locker room.
No.
Yeah.
Why are you guys?
Give me a break.
Why are you guys speculating? It doesn't matter. He said that I told the team Pulisic takes the penalty.
Regardless, it's wrong
Doesn't matter if it
regardless.
happened at halftime or before the game.
I just want to have a question really quickly.
To me, there's no respect for Fonseca.
That's nothing to do with that.
I think it definitely has something to
I'll
do
tell you
with
what,
that.
it's a lack of leadership. He's been sharing the captainship.
But you think that if Conte told somebody to take a penalty and they didn't take the penalty, he would
chew him alive.
He would chew him. Or Mourinho told somebody to take a penalty, somebody else went and took a penalty.
No, you're right.
You think
I
nothing would
wouldn't
happen
call
to
this-
them?
Listen,
I had the exact same feeling as you. I thought the same two things. What if a Conte team or a Mourinho team did something like this? And also, just to take it a step further, Theo Hernandez has been on the team a long time. Again, even the first one, I could kind of understand. I don't agree with, but I could find some justification. The second one, Tammy Abraham, and I love Tammy. You've been at the club.
Yeah,
you
he's
just
new.
joined
He's
the
brand
team.
new. I'm
You
surprised.
just joined the team. Pulisic is the guy that's been on the most.
I just
form.
want to say something. If there was a third penalty, who do you think would have took it? Honestly?
But then the thing is,
listen.
the guy, hold on, the guy scores a goal, right?
Yeah.
Why did he take him out? Can you tell me why Fonseca took him out?
He said that he was feeling a little bit of an injury.
Okay.
Pulisic?
Yeah.
Listen.
I think Pulisic was feeling
Maybe.
something
Maybe he was
in his
annoyed.
head.
No, listen to me. It's nothing to do
That's
with
disrespect
Gaetano.
from a teammate to another teammate.
I do agree.
Gaetano.
I do agree, especially the second one.
He was definitely annoyed.
What highlights this is that it happened twice. The first one, okay, Theo, but the second one with Tammy, and there should be players on Milan like I know I'm going to an extreme example like a Paolo Maldini who probably would have went there and been like, all right, kid, I know you want to take the penalty. We're not making this mistake again. And if Pulisic makes the mistake and he misses the penalty, that's fine. But at least it was the coach's decision.
Oh, yeah.
We said he's the one who's taking the penalty.
I agree. If there was a leader there, there was a captain.
Wait a moment.
You think that
One of the players
if
should have
Zanetti
been
was
there.
there,
Wait.
or if Maldini
But
was
that's
there,
what the
he would have kicked his ass.
Gaetano.
Get that out of
He
here.
would have grabbed the ball
Gaetano.
from Tammy
Yeah.
and said, Tammy,
Yeah.
I get that you want to take this. I'm going to make a scene. I'm giving the ball to Pulisic.
Gaetano, but this is what I've been saying to you guys. That it's not about it's not about leadership. It's about,
Of course it is, too.
No, it's about the fact that Fonseca on his head, he wants to get everybody involved. 1 week he gives the captainship.
No,
band.
that's not true.
1 second. One week is
Didn't this
Calabria.
happen at
Another
Inter?
week is Leao. Another week is Theo Hernandez. It's a lot of this thing here. You have to pick up the leader of the team. Pick
Listen.
up the leader of the team and say, hey, you are the one. Just you are the light in the center of the box. You're supposed to be just taking over the whole situation and just be the leader. That's it. Now, I think Pulisic, he was supposed to be taking the penalty, but Fonseca it was not strong enough to make himself understood into the locker room and before the game. This stuff has to be worked out beforehand. That's it.
Listen.
Nothing to do on the field.
On the over 50 team, okay, and I'm talking about 10 years ago, 15 years ago, okay, on the over 50 team.
Sorry to interrupt. You said Zanetti, and it
Your
immediately
mic,
spurred
your
a
mic.
memory. It immediately spurred a memory. And there's an exact moment.
Yeah.
Inter against Palermo. Mario Balotelli is trying to take the penalty from Samuel Eto'o.
Yeah.
And Zanetti steps in front of Mario Balotelli. Watch this. Look.
Yeah.
Zanetti pulls Balotelli
pulls him out.
by the hand. Just watch this.
Yeah, because I remember something with Zanetti.
He pulls him by the hand and
That's
says, "You are not taking this penalty
that's a
kick,
leader.
kid."
That's a leader.
That.
Okay.
But I don't want to get too helped
I
up on
think
this.
you guys are getting too caught up with that.
There is other problems at Milan.
When I was on the over 50, I'm talking about 15 years ago, when there was a penalty, everybody knew I was going to take the penalty. Nobody came and took the ball away from me. It would have been very disrespectful.
What would you have done?
It would have been very disrespectful. But nobody would have done it.
I'm just saying if.
Because
How would you
everybody
handle
knew,
that?
the coach said it, I knew, the whole team knew that I was going to take the penalty. Nobody would. If somebody came and took the ball away from me, I was not going to make a scene. But it would have been a disrespect for me because everybody knew. So this is the same thing. It's very disrespectful.
Yeah.
Now I'm playing over 65. I just got there. Okay,
You just went up 15.
I just got there. If there's a penalty, I'm not going to go there and take the penalty. Yeah. I'm the last one that arrived there. There are other players, the captain, and there's another two, that they the ones that take the penalty. It's a respect that you have for your teammates. And I know that if there is a penalty, I'm not even going to, because they've been there for a long time.
Would you let the producer take the penalty? Yes or no?
If he's playing.
Oh, what do you mean if he's playing?
If he's not on the bench.
He's not even touching the
Why was he
cones.
benched? I heard he was benched. What happened? He got late because it was popping up croissants and.
I like how you switched the subject. We're talking about Milan situation now, buddy.
I think the penalty situation does merit this conversation, but also Milan didn't do enough in the match to try to win this game. And once again, we keep seeing these highs and lows from Milan. Even the game against Leverkusen. I understand Leverkusen's a very good opponent, but I was very disappointed in how you played for 60 minutes, 65 minutes. You played 25, 30 minutes that were good. And Fonseca says after the game, "Oh yeah, I'm so happy with the performance." There's something wrong here. And they made Fiorentina look a lot better than Fiorentina has looked all season. I'm happy for Fiorentina. I'm happy for Palladino because I don't think Palladino has been the issue at this club. It's a situation where the team needs to gel. The team needs all the new guys to come back into it. And clearly Goodmanson, who they signed late into Mercato, he wasn't able to play early on. He's making a massive impact, and I absolutely love to see it.
That derby win versus Inter, I think, temporarily swept a lot of the problems Milan were having under
up.
the. No, I'm being honest.
This guy here, he was salivating watch AC Milan lose. This guy here.
Why do you always
I can't
say that?
stand him. Every time that AC Milan
Who
loses.
took you to the hospital for your knee surgery?
I know. Hey, listen.
And you say you can't
business is
stand him?
business.
Unbelievable.
I can't stand it because he's
Because
an
I'm talking the truth?
No, it's an intercloset. It's a closet, intercloset.
Just because of that win over there doesn't hide all the stuff that the problems Milan's been having. They had one great performance, and a lot of people were masking all the problems that Milan, and slowly that can only go for so long.
Fiorentina deserved to win this game. They were more hungry. They wanted the
they
game
did not.
more. They put more pressure. They deserved
They
to
got
win.
lucky.
No,
Now,
lucky.
I got a question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
They got lucky. They also missed the penalty.
They got lucky.
I got
And
a
they got
question for
opposed.
you. Are you ready to get Fonseca out of the team?
No way. No way. No way.
Okay.
Fonseca is here to stay. Okay? Fonseca is not the problem.
Panettone or no?
No, he's going to get
Honestly, I
panettone,
don't know.
spumante, and he's going to get even champagne. Fonseca is here to stay.
This performance was bad.
I'll
This is
tell
really
you
bad.
something. I'll tell you something.
I'm very disappointed in you guys.
We have now options on defense, and we're not using it.
What options
For
do you
me, Tomori does not belong over
So
there.
who should start?
Okay?
Pavlovic?
Yes.
Okay, he also got benched for terrible performances.
No.
Yes, he did.
I don't think he's.
Yeah.
I don't think he's as bad as Tomori.
He got
He's
torn
much
inside out
better than
against Liverpool.
Tomori.
You don't remember?
He's much better than Tomori.
Yeah, Emerson Royale again. Hey, it goes.
What are you talking about,
It goes
man?
back again to so many problems defensively from this team.
There's a lapse of concentration on that team.
The second goal, it was.
And what does that come down
it
to?
It was 100% Tomori's fault. He misjudged the ball.
We agree. We're agreeing. But what I'm saying is there's clearly not confidence in the guy that was bought to come in because the mistake that Pavlovic made against Liverpool saw him not starting again for Milan.
Okay.
So that means Gabbia, yes, we agree. He's the pillar there.
Gabbia is a national team player. I've been saying for a long time. All of a sudden, now Spalletti calls Gabbia.
But Gabbia is not the problem. The problem is who's partnering Gabbia. Because we don't have confidence in Tomori. We don't have confidence in Pavlovic. We don't have confidence in the right back, Emerson
Right back
Royale,
at
that was
all.
brought in to solve the problem. Who we didn't have
Calabria.
confidence in Calabria. Yeah. So, again, there's this trickle-down effect from Milan that I'm worried on how they actually fix this problem when you're losing games to Fiorentina. If you tie that game, okay, maybe. But to lose this match,
And the penalty controversy didn't help with the leadership. Because it does show a lack of respect for the coach, the team.
You know what? You know what? They also had Fiorentina had a same exact problem as this one, right? Where Goodmanson took 2 penalties when he was subbed on in the 45th minute of 2 games ago. He was subbed on, made his debut. Got the penalty.
He won the penalty.
Him and Moise Kean were fighting. Moise Kean went to go get the ball. Goodman said, "Get out of here," which kind of goes against what we were saying before about the new guys coming in. Goodmanson takes 2 penalties, scores the goal. Now Moise Kean goes to take the penalty. Goodmanson wanted it. Moise Kean misses the penalty. They solved their problem because Palladino says, listen, Goodmanson is going to be the guy. Moise Kean understands that we all are in agreement. There was a 50-50 before. Now Goodmanson is the guy that's going to take the penalty kick. But I understood because in the moment, he felt better.
Something else for you. Your friend,
Oh, boy.
Ibrahimovic.
Yeah.
Where does he come in? What does he do? What is his
I
leadership?
think Ibra's got work to do.
Oh, okay.
You think?
He's got work to do, and I'm sure those situations that have been created right now, they're pretty evident. I mean, the coach is technically it's the coach's job, but Ibra, I think it's above the coach, and as a player and as a superstar,
He's the boss.
and as a boss, I think he's going to step in. He's going to make things just nice and clear.
Just
End
for
of the story.
because
just living in a
AC
fantasy.
Milan is one of the best teams that in the past that has ever.
No, it's still now. It's
No,
one
not
of the
now.
best
No,
teams.
not now. In the past.
No, it's still now.
I have
Still
never.
one of the best teams ever.
I have never seen anything that is happening right now on the field. I've never seen it before. Okay, from when all the great champions were there.
They went through some bad times in the 2010s. Milan.
Listen,
Milan went through some
they're
bad.
No, but I'm
Right.
saying I've never seen in the field this type of attitude from the players that they don't go and at halftime and they stay with the team, they walk away.
There's something
and the
strange.
leadership.
I don't like to read too much into it, but there's something
A team
strange.
like AC Milan, those things under Maldini that would never happen.
And you know
Also
what's
under
strange?
Conte, it would never happen. Conte was a guy that I think you guys should have gone all summer, but they didn't want Conte because Conte would have made completely different demands, and Conte would not accept a lot of the BS that's going
And
on.
didn't Zlatan say he wanted to look for a different coach? But regardless, it's even
wanted a
more
coach, not a
strange.
manager.
It's even more strange how we're seeing this in the beginning of the season, so early on into this. Some stuff you see leak out during mid-season or towards the end. You're seeing stuff like this in the beginning of the season. I think there's some writing on the wall. I don't know what it is, but there's something there. Something's not
Okay,
right.
I'll tell you what the
Let's move
writing on the wall
Honestly.
is. Okay, Mike, I know what you're trying to steer up.
I'm not
okay.
stirring anything. I'm just saying
gonna
what I
tell
think.
you. I'm going to tell you what's the writing on the wall.
Why do you
Mike
say-
is insinuating that maybe
not
Theo
insinuating.
Hernandez and Leao and a couple other players, they're not happy and they were actually planning to move on on a transfer. Yeah.
When did I say that?
He was insinuating,
Listen,
right?
nobody. Ibrahimovic.
That's exactly what you said. That's basically the words that came out of your mouth.
Ibra, Zlatan says nobody is staying on AC Milan forced. If you wanted to leave, that is the door. Get the hell out.
Oh, you gotta
so
pay?
everything was clarified. Anybody can be monetized at any time. If you're wearing that jersey, you have you owe to respect all the people that they pay the ticket or they are glued on the TV watching the game and suffering to watching the game. You know what I was told this morning at the counter while I was getting coffee? I said, look at you, how aggravated you getting. I said, they're getting the money and you getting aggravated. I said to my friend Manny, I said, Manuel, I said, you should be the last one to talk. I said, look what happened with Juventus. Okay? You gave Cagliari, the last team in the league, you give it 2 points. I mean, a point that it was like, hey, that's a Christmas present. It's not Christmas yet. It's October. Okay.
Okay. Number one,
Nice
you should be
deflecting the subject,
you should be the
buddy.
last one to talk about Christmas
And
presents.
you know what? This has.
And number two, let's talk about Juventus against Cagliari
Oh.
because it was a match where Juventus absolutely dominated for
And
the
then they got
entirety
screwed
of the
the
game.
last seconds. Boom.
Most
They
of the
had,
game.
they had
Bing!
so many chances. Dusan Vlahovic scores 7 goals in 9 games
Okay.
for him
Wow.
after scoring back-to-back braces.
Back-to-back.
But then he misses a really clear chance in front of the
An
net.
open net.
That could
No
have
goalie.
been
No
2-0
goal. There was
in
a
the
goal.
78th minute,
Come on, Mike.
and that would have went 2-0, and they probably would have won. I'm not putting the entire...
I am.
Okay, I'm
I am. You're getting paid a lot of money.
Let him
You're not
talk.
supposed to be missing that shit.
Who doesn't miss that in football? Who
Nobody.
doesn't? What striker,
Nobody.
What striker
Cassano.
makes? What striker
Listen.
makes every chance?
Cassano.
Haaland, Lewandowski, because those are the only two that have more goals than Vlahovic this season.
You're getting paid that kind of money. You're a
Thuram
professional.
this season.
Doesn't
You
matter.
are a professional.
Players make mistakes. It's not Cristiano Ronaldo. This is not Lionel Messi. He's not at that level. He's not world class yet.
But we're not talking about you. You don't have to be world class not to miss those things. You can be just somebody from the
Erling
street.
Haaland
Somebody from
misses
the
those
street will
chances.
not miss goals like that.
this guy.
This Vlahovic, I think, is over his head.
He's
Okay.
got 7 goals in 9
Yeah.
games.
Okay. You know what?
Do you understand what that means?
We're talking about Cagliari. We're not talking about Real Madrid. We're not talking about
happens,
Barcelona. We're not
Anto.
talking.
It
It
happens.
happened.
Yeah.
Did you see?
Are
did
you kidding me?
Did you see the goals that he scored against Leipzig?
Give me a break.
Did you see the goals?
That's not a team. I wanted to see you facing
Leipzig
the
is not a team?
That's not a team.
But Cagliari is.
That's not. Yes.
Okay.
Cagliari is the worst. Actually, it's even worse than that. You should have been 4 or 5 nothing
Okay. Anyway,
at the stadium. You're playing at the stadium with all everybody singing. La 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 la. Rode di un grande amore. Ma che minchia d'amore è questo qua? You got scored 1-1. Storia di un grande amore. Are you kidding me? Storia di un grande amore. You know what that means? Storia di un grande amore. History of a great love. Okay.
Yeah.
You
happens,
look at him.
Anto.
You guys are in worse shape.
Marcus
than
looking for a
AC
stat right
Milan.
now to make fun of you, right?
Okay.
He's looking for a stat.
Juventus after 7 games.
Oh, boy.
Oh, here you
Third
go.
place.
The stats. Here comes the
Milan,
stats.
6th place. So
right.
don't talk about not slipping up.
Storia di un
Because
grande
these
amore.
teams are not
This
perfect.
guy's singing under his
Anyway.
breath. That's his bedtime story.
The guy that I put more blame on is the guy that they spent $52 million on, Douglas Luiz, who every time that he's played for Juventus makes a terrible mistake.
Talk about
Everyone was
consistency, though,
talking
right?
about why does Thiago Motta not play him? They bought the guy to play. The last 2 times they brought him on against Leipzig, he gives up a penalty kick where he's scared to take the ball into the face. And then in this Cagliari match in the 85th minute, he gives up another penalty after just being subbed on. Again, I don't like to put it on singles. I'm disappointed in the Douglas Luiz, and he needs to really turn this around. But Juventus as a team, they needed to put the game away early, and they didn't. And that's what you get. And this is a Serie A that I keep saying you can't overlook these teams. You can't just think, oh, we're going to stay in, this and that. These teams fight into the last second. There's quality from all of them. Anybody in the Serie A could have an upset on their day. Even Monza. Monza did it to Inter. Monza did it to Roma. There's just quality. It's tough. It's a tough league. Anything?
I'm surprised because Motta, I mean, Locatelli was not playing that bad. I mean, I thought he was having a good game. So, you know, that's a very key position to put. I was disappointed on the kind of foul that he made. You know, it was not necessary. I mean, the ball was gone, and you go, and I mean, it was really not from that kind of play. I mean, the guy plays for the Brazilian national team, so he's going through some rough times. He's probably down on himself, really disappointed. But I think looking forward for Juventus is, you know, do you have somebody to replace? I think there's a lot of injuries there. I see something lack in the front. I see some lack in the back. So going for who's the replacement for
Kalulu.
Huh?
For Bremer or Kalulu?
No, for Vlahovic. Just you know,
For Vlahovic, the only thing that they could do is they'll put Weah as the false 9, or they'll put Nico Gonzalez as a false 9 because Milik needs another couple of months.
Okay.
I mean, listen, it might not look the best in terms of Juventus view. They just aren't clinical enough. And if you look at it this side, yeah, Vlahovic missed some sitters every now and then. For him not playing that good, he's still scoring at the end of the day. So I only think it's early in the season. I only think it's a matter of time before Vlahovic, I said this last podcast too, starts revving up his engines. Because once he starts scoring, I feel like Mota's team is really going to explode. Because they're just not, the only thing is they're not clinical enough.
I don't see it, Mike. I don't see it. I said on the last podcast, I don't see it. And I'll tell you the reasons why. And now this is going to be even more accentuated to the fact that now you lost Bremer. Bremer is going to spell a lot of problem for you guys. This is one of the top defenders, not just
luckily
in
Milan
Italy.
helped Juventus out, and they gave Kalulu one of the best defenders now this season.
Don't worry about that.
You should be choice at Milan.
You should be thankful.
Saying. Thank you.
Okay, hey, you should be actually. Fiorentina should be thankful that you gave more skill to them. You know, he's the one scoring. You know, more skill.
Not against Juventus.
Yeah, well,
he had that written down. He told me he was going to say that before the podcast.
Listen. I see a lot of problem. And you know what, Motta.
You're going to be on the wrong side of history.
Listen to me. Motta is the brand of one of the most famous panettone in Italy. Is he going to see? This is a question for you.
He's going to last longer than Fonseca.
Are you crazy?
He's lasting longer than
see the panettone or not?
He's going to see a couple of panettones. This year, next year.
Yeah.
Anto,
Maybe he's going to see a Pandoro.
I think you're a little too excited. You're going to be on the wrong side of history. You're questioning Thiago Motta.
It's okay.
What team?
Listen,
Amore.
What I got for you. You with the panettone.
Translate that.
I'll tell you 2 words. Tomori Kalulu. Okay, that's what I'm telling you. What happened there?
Tomori Kalulu. Kalulu, we gave it to you.
Yeah, what happened? Why?
Okay, well, you should be thankful. Yeah. We already gave your Christmas present in advance.
Another Abramovich. Call your friend.
Okay, one thing about this, about everybody getting so excited about, okay, Juventus not clinical. Oh my God, you have to always finish off your chances. What team in the world? Name me one team in the world that always does it. Manchester City, one of the best teams in the world. They drop points every week. They have ties. Real Madrid, they're talking about a crisis. They're talking about Carlo Ancelotti not getting this team to perform.
Stop with your stats, kid. Those stats, stop it. Stop it right there. Those stats are all BS.
Who's perfect?
Just wash your head from stats. Soccer is not stats. Soccer is a moment. It's a moment you have to step up.
Juventus are doing amazing. Juventus are doing amazing.
They're not.
They are.
They're not. Spend a lot of money. They spend a lot of money.
They have exceeded my expectations for where they are right now.
They are exceeding?
Exceeded.
Wow, you guys said it was supposed to be the winner of the Campionato.
None of us picked them.
I don't think anyone picked that.
None of us picked them.
Yeah.
You did. I think either you or
everybody
Peter.
picked Inter.
Okay.
Except me.
Well,
actually, sorry, he picked Milan.
Yeah. I didn't pick you.
Good luck with that, buddy. Fonseca's got
and he's saying Thiago Motta's not going to eat the panettone.
I'm still on. AC Milan must still take
longer
it.
than Fonseca.
Don't worry about it.
Anyway, let's move on. Let's talk about, shall we talk about Inter?
Inter, yeah.
Another team that's conceding a lot of chances. I know they win. They win 3-2 against Torino. Torino, really stupid red card that they get, that they do this early on. A Torino that was flying high early on. Then they came a little bit more back to reality, I think, and more where they're supposed to be, Torino. But still very good side with a lot of quality. Shea Adams, Zapata was there as well. Vanoli has clear ideas for this team. And they go down to 10 men. And I know Inter come away with the win, but Inter can see 2 goals against 10-men Torino. And once again, similar mistakes in the goals, especially the first one, which I never expect that from Inter. So we've been talking about complacency, concentration, lack of effort. I'm starting to see worrying signs from Inter.
A little bit from Inter, and I also got to say, if Torino were playing with the same amount of men, it was a stupid foul, very bad foul. The game could have went either way. This is why it's so important to have an informed striker, like someone like Thuram. If Thuram was a striker that maybe wasn't so on form, maybe they wouldn't have gone away with the 3 points. Thuram's in the form of his lifetime. Even though Lautaro's, he's picking up the slack of Lautaro. He's not doing the best this season, slow start, whatever. But incredible from the... And Torino, they're holding their own, too. You're going to see clear ideas.
He's getting a little lucky. He takes the ball, he takes the shot.
But when you're on fire, you're on fire. Everything just goes...
Yeah,
the third goal, you saw the third goal?
The 2 headers.
That shows the on-form striker.
He
hit it down and it went over Milinkovic.
You know what I noticed, too?
Incredible.
The assists. Acerbi, Bastoni. I mean, it's amazing
it's
how Inter get their defenders involved. And maybe we're jumping the gun a little bit by saying the concentration, but I'm just saying, seeing some of the sides, and I think it's normal when a team wins, it's so hard to keep up that motivation every single day. In Champions League, they've looked brilliant, and I'm not going to question them there. They're dealing with some injuries, right, as well. Lautaro Martinez still not in the form that we'd expect.
He's been scoring 2 goals every game.
He has 3 goals in 2 games. That's it.
Well,
in
listen,
3 games, in the last 3 games.
I think the thing that we have
Thuram is the guy. Thuram is the guy for Inter this year.
He's doing incredible.
He's got 7 goals, top of the Capocannoniere race, along with Matteo Retegui, who we'll talk about after. But he could score goals in every way. He's more clinical this year than he was in last year.
Listen, the things that the
second season
I take away from those 2 games with the Juventus and with the Torino. 2 very important injuries. As soon as Vlahovic scores, they all run to the bench over there. They got the jersey of Bremer, and everybody's cheering him up because he's done for the season. Zapata, he has
an ACL injury. Confirmed ACL injury.
Oh,
going to be out for the season.
I feel bad. I feel bad for him.
ACL
for the season.
They're saying 6 months, so that's pretty much a whole season.
Yeah,
I'm saying at least.
As soon as he went down and he put his hand in his head,
He doesn't go down. Zapata doesn't go down.
I knew he was serious.
We hope the best for him.
I know it was very serious.
Right there, I said we lost 2 important.
This weekend, even Carvajal, if you look in La Liga as well.
What happened with Carvajal?
Towards ACL.
Ooh.
Another guy.
You know what I think, Marco, is happening? I think the extra work that they did over the European Championship and then all of these summer tournaments and
I mean, they already flew to UEFA Nations League. You guys don't have a break.
Listen,
it's gonna get worse.
There is a lot.
It's gonna get worse.
Games. There's been a lot of talk about there are too many games. There are so many injuries because it's too much. I think, like Gaetano said, he picked up Napoli because just based on the fact that he's not involved in many international competition. What do they have? The World Cup for club or something like that?
No, they're not in
Nothing.
They're in Coppa Italia and they're in Serie A. But I mean, it doesn't really matter because you could pick up an injury anywhere. Yeah. And Napoli is one of the teams that would probably be vulnerable if Big Rom goes down, if their number 9 goes down.
Sure.
Now you're going with Simeone, you're going with Raspadori. It will be difficult. But why don't we talk about that Napoli game since we'll move on. 3-1 against Como. Scott McTominay again. I mean, the guy's doing great. 25 seconds in.
Oh my God, that was incredible.
In Serie A. Brilliant goal. All the new signings scored. Scott McTominay, Big Rom, and then Neres was the one who scored.
Yeah,
right.
He came in as a sub.
Neres.
He's playing.
Where, Atalanta?
No.
For Napoli.
Neres. Yeah.
Oh, Neres.
I mean, Napoli right now, obviously looking good. We know this is a recipe for a great formula for Conte. Not playing Euro, playing 1 game a week. They're playing great. Lukaku's finding his form. Lukaku's winning penalties, assisting goals.
And he's not at 100% yet, according to Conte.
Exactly. And there we go. So everything's brewing over there. When one player's not performing the best, someone else is going to step up. McTominay's been incredible. This guy just came into Italy first time coming into this new league. And I was surprised that they got him. He was playing, I think, fantastic for Manchester United. And Conte showed a lot of he showed that he really wanted him, and he's paying incredible dividends for this Napoli side.
Anyone who says, because there's this narrative, coaches, they just manage the team, it's the players who win games. Anyone, just look at Antonio Conte. Look at what the touch that he has on players,
Anto's
on teams.
laughing.
There's nobody that gives an immediate impact to a squad. But with that being said, Napoli's next games, in this next month, are going to determine what happens. Not going in order, but just telling you some of the tough games. They have to play Milan in the San Siro. They play Atalanta at home, Inter in the San Siro, Roma at home, Torino away, Lazio away, and then back-to-back Lazio, actually, because one is Coppa Italia.
How many games are those?
Was it 6, you said?
They have, but I didn't include a couple of other ones. This next month, when they get to end of November, that's going to be the real test for Napoli. If they get out of this and they're still at the top of the table... I don't think there's going to be anything that stops them from going on and winning. And I know there still will be a lot of games.
And there's a lot of European games for the other top teams.
That's my point is I feel like we haven't even seen the gap being made up because it's still the beginning of the season.
And there's already a small gap.
There is a small gap.
And they're performing excellently.
And I think the team is starting to believe. I think they're starting to see like everything that Conte has been telling us, everything that he's been putting in our brain, we're starting to see play out on the field. and he is just going to lean on that
Yeah.
every single chance he gets. And the thing is, because I know people might say that we were very harsh on Inter because they did win that game. I think he's even looking over there and saying, I think every team in Serie A is looking at Inter and saying, you know the superhero movies where the villain like bleeds for the first time, and you're like, oh, hold on, the guy's not indestructible.
Yeah, exactly.
We could take him down. That's sort of how everyone was building up Inter all summer. It's like, oh, how can we compete with them? I think most of the teams are looking at the Inter games and saying they're beatable. They're actually beatable on paper. So
Inter is beatable.
That's why when you have the target on you.
beat-
That's
so
why
is
you have when you have the
Napoli.
target on your
And so
back.
is Napoli. Napoli is beatable. Inter is beatable.
They got to spill blood first, though.
Juventus is beatable.
and okay, well, how do you think? Because Napoli's your Scudetto favorite.
Napoli is on a roll. I mean, they're fun to watch. I love this guy McTominay. He's what a pickup. And then the thing about Conte, he wanted Lukaku. He knows what he wants, and he knows and this is what I want, and he won't let go until he gets what he wants. And the guy is not in great shape, so he doesn't go and play for Belgium. Hey, you stay here. And he's training harder than ever. And we have seen some of the Conte practice, that the hardest thing that I have seen, the way he trains those players. So he knows what he wants, and the players seem to be united, they're listening, and they're doing what he wants. And little by little, he will insert some players. This guy, Neres, he inserts at the right time. The guy scores the goal. So everything that Conte Napoli is doing, it's fun. I like it.
You're looking like a genius, Gaetan. I hope you put a couple bucks before the season started on them.
Plus 1,800 odds. Plus 1,800.
So
he's hiding something. We're gonna see him with come to the studio with a Lamborghini. Where'd you get that from?
Something about me. I can predict something. Like I look at a game, I start a game, I said, this team today is going to do good. I looked and I said, Venezia is going to win this game. Or, Cagliari is going to. If I put $10 on the game, nothing happens.
Listen.
That's how you know you're Sicilian. You believe in the superstitions.
Listen, the Serie A this year, it's very much in an equilibrium stage or mode, put it this way, because
it's a big word, buddy.
A lot of teams at the top, and some of them even on the middle range, they are tough team. At any time, you can see Juventus, you can see Milan, you can see Inter, you can see Napoli, you can see Lazio,
Cagliari.
You can see Cagliari, Roma, Fiorentina. Just do something that is it's not expected. So
I agree with you.
For you to put the money on the big name all the time,
you're losing it,
and hope to come back, with the full amount of money that you put on.
I don't put any money.
Not happening. So what I will say is this: momentum is very important. Okay, if the team like Napoli, they are in 6-cylinder. Okay, the momentum is very important.
Penalty takers, very important.
The attitude of a team is very important. You can have Juventus coming with the big song before the game, Juve this, Juve that.
You like that?
Then they go to the field, Vlahovic. They just fill up their mouth, foaming. Then they get scored. And then all of a sudden, at the end of the game, they still put in the music. But this is what I'm trying to say. Yeah. What I'm trying to say is...
Yeah, what are you trying to say?
What I'm trying to say is...
He lost his train of thought 5 minutes ago.
Do not count your chicken before they hatch.
Or you're pushing daisies, right?
Okay? That's it. That's it.
Let's talk about it.
Don't say... or what's his name? Yogi Berra said...
what are you going to say?
When you get a fork on the road, just take it. Okay? Did you get that?
No.
That's not what Yogi Berra said.
That's what he did.
I didn't hear that one before.
When you get a fork on the road, just take it.
Okay.
That means it can go either way.
Let's talk about Lazio. Another team that I've really enjoyed watching. Lazio. Didn't have high expectations for them this summer. They obviously went with Marco Baroni, but he's getting a reaction out of this team. Even in Europe, they're coming in with the right attitude. The new signings have been brilliant. Tavares, he's got 5 assists. He's the leading assist man for this team, and he didn't even play last year with in Portugal. So my gosh, what a player, what a signing they made. And Noslin, anyone they get, Bulayadia. Pedro's 37 years old. He's scoring back-to-back games. Empoli were unbeaten until this match. They were unbeaten in 6 games. Never happened in their history. Lazio hosted them at home, and that's it. It was over.
Yeah, and they came back. Esposito scored. Provedel made a little mistake. He slipped or something. But they coming back from 1-0, scoring 2 goals, even though they're coming from a European victory, which they did some rotation on. Tati Cassiano missed a penalty, even though he was on fire. They still managed to win the game. Tati Cassiano, even though he didn't score, he gave the ball to Pedro. Pedro came in as a super sub. A lot of things are clicking for the side, and Baroni's looking like a genius. He's not just playing the 12, 13 players that Sarri likes to play. He's doing some rotation. He's playing well, and they're looking good. I'm actually following them. They have a Greek keeper over there who's playing for the European game. But it's showing that the rotation in Europe, in Serie A, that there's work, and that he's playing a lot of these players that maybe not the most bigger names, and he's still getting results. He's resting players, he's getting results, and they're actually fun to watch. They're playing good football.
I love that their attitude in Europe is to attack, and it's to try to win games, because I feel like for Lazio, they've always
teeth,
in the past with this Lazio, as much as people have praised Sarri, and I do think there's value in Maurizio Sarri, and he's built one of the most exciting Napoli teams I've ever witnessed. He was stuck in his ways, and he was very stubborn, and he was very committed to certain players, and I felt like he was always calculated with, we can't play in Europe and play in Serie A at the same time, where there's a lot of teams who have dispelled that and who have said that you could get a lot of energy off of playing in Europe and building your squad around him. So he's doing great. But the most important thing, Lazio's fun to watch. Lazio is exciting to watch. I've really enjoyed them. Shall we go to Roma? Shall we talk about Roma, who's
Roma,
the complete opposite?
Apparently, Nesta. They were saying that Nesta is got one nail in the coffin, ready to be totally
zero. They're the only teams with 0 wins. Monza.
Well, listen,
but they made an upset against Roma.
Nesta is going to be staying at Monza. I have news for you, because this every time you put it in the newspaper. Let's see, all the coaches that are on the verge of being sacked. So far, no one has been sacked, right? No. Sacked? Or sacked?
Not yet.
De Rossi was sacked.
Well, aside from De Rossi. Right. But that was not because of results, because of this stupid management.
What was it? What was it?
What was it? 0 wins in Serie A.
I wouldn't say it was not about results, Anto.
But after 3 games, you're doing that thing. I mean, hey, at least
I know. Anyway, let's talk about
that. Was something stupid.
Let's talk.
But anyway, Nesta is putting a big performance. They tied Roma. The team didn't look bad at all to me.
Monza.
Yeah,
Monza had the better chances in the game. Monza did.
Roma were also unlucky. They also had we gotta say it as it is. Roma missed a bunch of chances that Monza were very.
Monza. Daniel Maldini was right in front of the net.
Yeah, that was one. No, Roma had more clear-cut chances overall. First of all, Dovbig's goal, did you see that? It's a horrible defending on that. But Dovbig passed the whole defense, 3 defenders. He faked it like 3 times and ended up slotting it. The only positive right now for Roma is Dovbig. He's ending up scoring goals. But overall, there's no creativity to create chances on this Roma side. Dovbig basically has to create a incredible goal so he can score, because this Roma team is starved for chances. They're not very creative. They're not producing
They're toothless.
A lot of things, and it's hard for them to watch. And you'd almost have to wait for a mistake on the defense on the other team, and it's really tough to watch for this Roma team.
Was Juric the right choice?
I think the right choice was not sacking De Rossi, but I think Juric is one of the best coaches out there in terms of understanding the Serie A. The problem is, I think when you go from different coaches that have very different methods, what Juric wants to play, the pressing style, is different from what De Rossi demanded, and the players are different. And
it's not his team.
Mattias Sule is still not performing. A lot of the big names that have been at this club that we're repeating ourselves saying the same thing over and over and over again. Those are the issues. And the rumors were, if they lost this game, they could even get rid of Juric and go back to De Rossi. So Roma is a mess.
But listen to me.
And they lost against Elfsberg.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was very
in the Europa League.
That was bad.
At least we used to see a Roma that competed in Europe. In the last years, they won the Conference League final. They lost in the Europa League final to the kings of that competition in Sevilla and penalty kicks. And then they went out to Bayer Leverkusen, who were unbeaten at that point. But they would never lose again. I mean, they did lose against Bodo Glimt once, but they always showed a little bit more character in those games than I think was sore, and there was a lot of rotations in that game.
Let me rephrase the question. Maybe the maestro can answer for me. Listen, why Juric? Is that because it's the cheaper one? That was the cheaper one. Why not Allegri, or why not Sarri.
Allegri's not going to come mid-season.
No.
Mid-season, Mike. It's not mid-season. It's just 5 games.
They want these kind of coaches
Why
want
not
a
those guys?
preseason.
Because they
Anto.
demand a lot more money. Or they command, why not?
No, it's not nothing to do with money. I mean, these guys, they spend so much money. They're paying now what? They're also for 3 years or something. I mean, you know what it is? They don't know what they're doing. That's what it is.
So there is a chance
They
that
don't know what
crazy
I mean, if he
confident.
tells me that there was a rumor that if Juric lost this game, they were going to call back the Rossi, do they know what they're doing?
Corriere dello Sport.
They have no idea what they're doing.
What's crazy is we would normally say in this situation, oh, that'll never happen. But that's also what we said about De Rossi when we woke up to the news that he was sacked. We said, there's no way you give the guy a 3-year contract, then sack him 4 games into the season.
Okay. When you have a project and you want to start a project, you cannot keep a coach for 4 games. I mean, look what happened to Ten Hag, the guy. I mean, the guy, if he were in Italy, he would have been fired a year and a half ago.
Might have been the right decision.
All right, but you have a project. You know, there are some coaches. It takes some time. You have to give them the time to develop their style of play, to instill in the players the way they want to play. If you lose a game, you know that in the next game, if you lose, you're gonna be out. You know, you coach differently, and that's not the right way. You have a project. You have to keep the coach at least for a year.
I agree.
Keep the
but
coach
that's
for a
right.
year, and then after the year is over, then you say, okay,
evaluate.
now. Ten Hag after a year should have been gone.
He would have been sacked 10 times in Serie A. 10 times.
No, but let's say after a year, then in England, maybe they lost too long. So that's another problem. But you give the guy at least a year. You know, you're spending so much money. You give him 3 years.
And then
Let's
you guys
talk
have
about-
to stop. You guys have to stop
There was
saying
internal
that you
stuff.
we AC Milan should be sacking Fonseca. It's not sacking. AC Milan is not sacking anybody. Okay, so
Sacking,
relax.
okay.
Let's
Sack.
talk about Italy's Nations League call-ups. They have games against Belgium, October 10th, and Israel on October 14th. The new call-ups, the notable ones, are Daniel Maldini.
I like
It's
that.
about time.
That's right. I like
generation
it.
of-
I
third
like it.
generation of
Hey, you were
Maldini.
not saying that before the podcast. I don't know about
What
that.
are you talking about?
Well, he was
I know
praising
you
him.
know
What you
what I'm
talking about?
talking
He was
about.
praising him the whole time.
I think he's doing
Thank
the
you,
right
Mike.
thing. I like Daniel. He was praising it.
Yeah.
The whole time he was praising
I
him.
don't know,
He
but
said he's excited to see him
I
play.
taped him. I can just show you. I have you on tape anyway.
Pisili, another one, the Roman, and Gabbia,
I
and Di
love that.
Gregorio.
They got Gorio finally.
Pisili is very young, right?
Yeah, I think he's 19.
That's the kid
Yeah.
that scored
19
that
years old.
goal and.
The Roma kid, right?
Yeah, that's him.
He's showing maybe wants to see what the kids have, if they can do it or
It's just
not.
our attack looks.
I mean, Pisili
A
played
little
one
toothless,
game.
right?
Yeah.
He played one game.
No. I mean, he's played more games.
Yeah, but
He played this weekend.
yeah, but did he ever
hasn't played
start the
much.
game? I mean, I don't think he ever.
I think he started. Yeah, he did.
Last
start.
year he didn't play one game.
No.
And this year he started.
He came in a couple times. Like
Yeah.
Mourinho's the one who launched him in the Europa League. He
Right.
scored the goal, so he's played here and there.
Alright,
but
so
not as
he wants to
consistent
give
starter.
the young players a chance. It's okay.
He
That's
played
fine.
7 games this season.
Huh?
Yeah, in the,
Yeah,
how many
okay.
minutes?
Yeah, but how many did he start? I don't think he started a game.
Maybe that is the reasons why Roma is not winning. They're supposed to get in this kid here right from the.
But I'm saying
the start.
he's trying something with the young. We always say the Italian players, the young players, they don't get a chance. Maybe he's giving them a chance.
Well, he says Daniel Maldini has something technically that no one else has. He just needs to try to show it consistently throughout an entire match. He's got a great left foot
4 starts.
from long range. The guy is amazing. Pisili said he could do a little bit of everything. The one that I'm excited to see is Retegui, who's been phenomenal, top of the goal scoring charts, 7 goals in the Serie A. That's the same number of goals he scored all of last season with Genoa, which goes to show you can't judge a striker, or especially a striker, in a system with a newly promoted team that doesn't get you a lot of service, because once he's been put into Atalanta, he scored some really nice goals, but he's also just got this smell for goal that he's in the right place at the right time. He's very confident. I absolutely love to see him scoring goals. I'm so happy for him because I've been a big fan of him since day one.
Scored 3 goals against his former team Genoa, and he didn't even celebrate 1.
Listen to me.
Right now,
Do you
you
think
believe
that
this?
Mike? Do you think that Gabbia is
Not
going to
one
retire?
celebration.
Should be shot.
Do you think that Gabbia is going to retire? What's his name? Acerbi from the Italian national team?
No. Wait, retire Acerbi?
Yeah, Acerbi's not going to get
First of all,
playing
Acerbi's not
time.
even playing too much, but I think Acerbi's a great defender. He's
don't-
very
I
experienced.
think he's done.
He
Starting
rarely
to see
makes
a
any
little-
mistakes.
I think it's done, Mike.
year.
I think it's done.
Whenever he plays for Italy,
This year.
he rarely makes
It's been a while
mistakes.
since he played for
Yeah,
Italy.
that's what I'm saying.
Been a long
That's
time.
when he barely
He
plays.
missed the Euros for the injury. Then he had that whole problem afterwards where he got kicked off.
But
for
he's
the national
whenever,
team.
for the most part, he's a safe. He's a safe.
Honestly,
choice.
when I look at the defenders and I'll read the list: Bastoni, Bellanova, Buongiorno, Calafiori, Cambiaso, Di Lorenzo, Di Marco, Gabbia, Ocoli, Udoji. I don't think we need.
We don't need
I don't think
Acerbi.
we need Acerbi in there. I think
Sorry.
that. I think that this is the new generation of. We have to look at
We-
players who are going to be at the
Yeah,
next.
I
World
mean,
Cup.
we need-
He's not going to be at the World Cup.
We need
That's
the
right.
young
He won't be the
players
World
to
Cup.
give him a chance.
Great job.
You know, they're still 2 years away. Let's
Sometimes
give him a
even
chance.
leader- even if he doesn't play, it's good
I
to
was
have for
He's
watching.
not going to
leadership.
be there at the World Cup.
But it's good to have for
far away.
leadership.
Mike, your leadership. You don't need leadership from somebody like that. What do you mean?
Yeah, but you
That
need
guy's not
you
a
need to
leader.
give this young a chance to play.
There's plenty of
Bastoni
young
has so
guys
much-
Maybe
there.
Bastoni has
there's
so much
somebody.
leadership.
We need the campione. We need the we don't develop that Pirlo, that Del Piero, that
Right.
Champions League
You
final
need
we
that.
played
So
on.
maybe somebody from here
it's
could come out.
Easily.
Oh.
Now I was watching one
There's
of the
not a
first.
lack of youth on the
I'm sorry,
team.
real quick. I don't think anyone that we don't think is going to be at the World Cup should be in this squad.
It's not just about playing. There's also
of course.
leadership
What
in
leadership,
locker room.
Mike?
Okay,
Mike,
so you have
Mike.
Buffon for that. There's leader. Bastoni's a leader.
have more than one
Bastoni's a leader.
person.
The guys that I want to see get into this team
Yeah.
eventually is Chiesa because he's still our best talent, even if he's in a different position.
100%.
And the one outsider that I would like to see called up back to the team is Gnonto from.
I agree.
Because I think
From
that
Leeds.
I think he can play in a more advanced position.
Yes.
I want him in the training camp because we need players who have different talents, who have different qualities, different bursts of speed. But let's also remember, we're playing Belgium and we're playing Israel. I think Spalletti has every right to call up these guys. We're going with the new formation. We're going to be 3 in the back. We're playing with 2 strikers. And I think it's going to work out a lot better than it was previously.
I don't know what the hell is going on with Chiesa. He's not even on the bench. So I don't.
He's been on the bench. He's been
I haven't seen him. I don't think he has played. And every time I look,
He has played.
he played.
He's played. He got an assist.
Yeah, exactly.
But every time I look at Liverpool, he's never either on the bench or
There's a lot of quality in that Liverpool 11.
But I will.
What a
you know,
shame.
He's
What a
not
shame.
hurt. He's not hurt.
What a shame. We
He
have,
did. He had
There's one
some
injury
muscle
in the
fatigue.
beginning. In the beginning, he was.
Listen,
the first time he didn't get called.
we are wasting our talent in England. Chiesa is one of the best.
He just joined.
He just joined. Are you kidding me?
He just
Anto, it's a
joined.
top team,
Relax.
though.
They're first place in England.
They're battling
You
to win the
telling me
league. It's
just
not a
because
small
Salah
team.
is there that Salah and Chiesa they cannot play on the
Luis
same
Diaz
team?
plays there too. He's doing
So
incredible.
Diego Jota.
what? So
They're playing
what?
they're playing incredible.
Chiesa's
Anto.
got game, man.
He just got there.
But he's with that team. That team is top. I feel that he could have played in a really tough, but he needs to play every game. He can't be on the bench. A player of that talent, that caliber, should not
He
be.
didn't have a choice, really.
should not
Too.
be in
He was
the-
kind of forced out. And then got
I think his
also.
attitude. He had a bad attitude.
I think it's going to work out in that. Anyway,
He's a quality player. He'll get minutes. They're playing 4 competition. Was it 5 in England? They have a lot of competitions. He's gonna get playing time.
anyway,
Okay, Mike.
guys, thank you for watching. We'll talk to you soon. Ciao, ragazzi.